everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, August 16th, 2026. Are Billy and Audra gonna hook up? I think we know the answer to that question. Billy is all hopped up on 40-year-old yellow file folder dust, and Sally is not going to like it. You can pretty much bet on that. But Audra, on the other hand, Audra loves a power play. I think Audra might just be the one person who will understand Billy and who can support Billy and help him work out some of that excess energy. Scandal. Wow. So I got one right. I finally got a prediction right. John Abbott, so it turns out, gave Chancellor Industries the bailout that they needed years and years ago. But he didn't do it boilerplate. Oh no. Instead, he left a ticking time bomb that could go off 20 years into the future. Thank you, John. That is a little gift from beyond. A little soap opera gift from beyond the grave. So it turns out Chancellor Industries had 20 years to repay this loan, and if they didn't, the whole company would be handed right over to John Abbott or one of his heirs, or all of his heirs, all of the Abbotts, but most importantly, Billy. Or so that's how it is in his mind. And that's the flaw in his thinking, right? His tunnel vision. I mean, I actually love this. It is so predictable. I love when Billy is off of his wagon. It's so comforting to me, so steady to me. I could set my watch by Billy's instability. So, okay, let's play along. Let's suppose, just for a minute, that a judge agreed to uphold this dusty old contract, and let's also suppose that no one can find any evidence that the loan was ever repaid. Well, there are 4 Abbotts, 4 heirs, not just one. So that means, at best, Billy would be sharing that chair with 3 other people. So it would be just like the situation at Jabot. Not to mention that if this was true, I'm trying to wrap my brain around why exactly Jill wouldn't want her son to know about it. Because number one, well, surely Jill would have pursued it herself if she had known. Jill would have enjoyed ripping Catherine's company right out from under her. No doubt about it. And number two, when Catherine died, she left the company to Jill, and Jill was very sore about that. She left the company to Victor. Catherine left Chancellor Industries to Victor when she died, and Jill wanted it. She wanted to be the owner. So if she had known about this contract clause, then why wouldn't she have used it herself to get control of the company? But number three, if not for herself, let's just say Jill was totally selfless and didn't want to use it for herself, why wouldn't she want to pursue an inheritance that her son could benefit from? I mean, there was a point when she owned it anyway, but yeah, I mean, this whole thing is a very fun twist. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But I don't think it's going to last long. I think Billy is going to spiral out trying to pursue it. He is going to destroy every relationship he's got. And in the end, I think Kane is going to find the document that proves the loan was paid. And hey, if Kane can't find it, maybe he'll just forge it. But either way, Billy is putting all of his eggs into this basket, already getting up on Lily and Kane, declaring himself as the new owner, declaring that Chancellor Industries is his, not theirs, not hers. There is no way Lily and Kane are going to stand for that. They are going to fight back. Lily and Kane are going to have to pull some all-nighters, possibly scantily clad, in order to figure their way out of this one. Lily is the lone owner of Chancellor Industries, and soon she's going to be the lone employee at Winters. So this week, Devon has announced that he is leaving Winters Inc. to work on his soul project. Devon blames himself for being too caught up with work to go outside and build a snowman with his son on the day his son was kidnapped. And so he's just going to quit work and take a relaxing vacation. Spend all his time homeschooling Dom. No, wait, that's not it. Devon's actual answer for realizing that he's been working too much is to start a college. Yeah, that sounds easy. That sounds not time consuming at all. I am sure that is going to give him a lot more extra time to spend with his family. Well, this is not just about Dom for Devon. I think we all know that. I think that Devon is also feeling the need to give back to his community, to, pass on not only the financial gifts that he's been given, but also the values that he was given by Neil specifically. And so therefore, Devon is officially establishing the Neil Winters College of Arts and Humanities. Where do I sign up? Really? There will be courses in romance, drama, betrayal, addiction, jazz. Where do I get my hoodie? NWC? Neil Winters College right on the front? What are the school colors? Indigo, obviously. Wow. I did not have this on my bingo card. So, what does this mean for Devon's character? This is kind of a solo-mish. It kind of isolates him from the rest of the drama. I mean, he's no longer going to be working at the family company in any capacity, the company that he started with Neil. I'm kind of wondering if this is just a nice way of sending Brighton James to recurring status alongside Melissa Ordway. I have no idea. Maybe not. Maybe this is just the beginning of a whole new arc for him. Maybe we will actually see the college. Wouldn't that be something? Maybe we will actually get a new set, and maybe we will actually get some younger characters like Connor and Christian to fill it. It's just so hard to tell what direction Y&R is going to be going with this college, but I can say I continue to love the way that Neil's character is still represented on the show. It's true, Neil would have loved this. He loved music, but he also spent most of his life succeeding in business. So Neil would have cared passionately about education. He adopted Devon. He gave him his education long before Devon ever inherited Catherine's billions. And as I am winding down on my retro recaps for now, I knew that there was one more death that I had to include. One more death that was absolutely impactful to the show and that had to be included in the collection, and that was Neil. Neil's death was different from any other death that we've had on the show. Cassie, Delia, Colleen, even John Abbott, the characters died, but the actor didn't. And even though Catherine Chancellor died with Gene Cooper, there was a sense that maybe she knew she wasn't well, that maybe she knew, maybe Y&R knew when she was walking up those stairs for the final time, that there was at least a possibility that she wasn't coming back. But with Neil, Christophe St. John was here one day and then he was just gone. There was no warning at all. There was no precedent. Y&R just had to write around it, and everyone who was watching the show, everyone involved with the show, just had to absorb it. Y&R fans had to process both the death of the actor and the death of the character, and it's hard to think about it and not get emotional. So I was dreading putting this retro recap together because, I mean, even though it's been, well, let's see, it happened in 2019, so, I mean, oh my goodness, it's been several years now. I mean, and yet it all still feels so raw. But I did it. I put together the retro recap about Neil's death. I tried to approach it from a place of joy and honesty and love for Christophe and for Neil. So I hope that you guys think it's a good tribute to Neil, a good tribute to Christophe. And if you would like to see it, you can find it on YouTube, or I will pin it this week at yrchat.com. I am so happy for Nate's hand. I have never been so happy in all my life for a hand. Devon's change of direction instantly made Nate realize that he wanted to change his direction too. I mean, in all fairness, he's been thinking about it for weeks, thinking about his return to medicine, return to surgery. But the truth is, he's probably never stopped thinking about it. He was forced to stop. He chose, he compensated by going into business, but it wasn't his first love. He loved being a doctor, and he had to stop being a doctor, stop being a surgeon, because of Devon. Because Devon got hot-headed and punched him and sent him into a table of glass and sliced his hand beyond repair. But that was years ago, and there have been so many advancements in technology that can give him his hand back, give him his life as a surgeon back. And I was really touched that Devon offered to help. I mean, I would say that's a pretty good full circle moment right there. But it does still leave me wondering, what is going to happen to the Winters family? There will only be one Winters working at Winters. And here's the bigger question. How often can anyone on Y&R need a surgeon? So is this really a new life for Nate? Or is it just a clever way to shuffle him off to the sidelines, only to appear the next time there's a medical emergency? Nick has officially hit rock bottom. Or at least I hope so. I hope this is rock bottom. Because getting high in some skeevy hotel room and having sex with the random junkie next door is pretty low. You can bet that sex was unprotected too. That's for sure. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say. It was all so much. And I thought Nikki's nightmare last week or the week before was so much. And this topped it. I mean, this absolutely blew it all out of the water. Nick's nightmare was the It's a Wonderful Life meets A Christmas Carol kind of the theme. We've come to expect that. We've seen that several times, and it was very well done. Matt kind of reminded me of David Johansen as the ghost of Christmas Past in Scrooged. He was just manic and wild, driving Nick to see his alternate reality. I especially enjoyed the flashbacks that were projected onto the car window as Nick sat in the back seat looking upon his life. And the dialogue was also really important. Important. I got the sense finally that Nick's addiction, even though it started with Matt, that there was a part of it that just wasn't about Matt at all. That didn't have anything to do with the past year of his life. That there was something about this that hit Nick so deeply that it had become about his whole life. And then, and like, almost as if he had spent his whole life trying to keep it together, struggle after struggle. And then when he took the drugs for a few moments, all of that just went away. And I guess what was important for me and really hit home for me was just that I got a great sense of the why of it all, the cause of it all. But then Matt also showed him not just the cause, but the effect. There was this version of the timeline where Nick got Sharon into the drug addiction too. And there was also a version of the timeline where Cassie was still alive and she hated him for it. And there was a version of the timeline where Connor got a hold of Nick's drugs and then OD'd on them instantly. There was just all of this logical evidence that should compel someone to stop using. This is bad. It has bad effects. Just stop. Logically. And it seemed like Nick wanted to, but then Marie showed up at the door. Now, I'm going to tell you, I hated her instantly. And I think it all boils down to that low-cut little top she was wearing. I took one look at that low-cut little top and said, that low-cut little top knew what it was doing. It was breasts on a cotton platter. And the way she was just trying to get him to do drugs together while tugging on the little top, I was like, who does this woman think she is? walking into this hotel room, tempting Nick with all the things Nick is always tempted by. And sleeping with him 15 minutes after meeting him. And then overdosing in the bed beside him. Nick had to give her CPR and then call 911. And then, in the end, who had to come clean up the mess for Nick? Sharon. Hell no. I was not having it. Nick gets all doped up, sleeps with another woman, then calls Sharon for help. I was mad. I was real mad. But I did appreciate Sharon saying that Nick has been there for her so many times. And it's true. So many times that she didn't feel put out by it at all. She felt honored to be able to help him. But still, I was like, no. But then, I have to say, Nick got back to rehab and Marie showed up too. And I don't know, maybe it was just being out of that dingy hotel room. Maybe it was her being out of one low-cut top and into another. Or at least it was a standard V. And then also just maybe it was the fact that they were sober. It could have been just listening to Nick recount his story and listening to the way that she was recounting hers. But all of a sudden, I started to really listen to her. And then I didn't hate her quite so much. The hate was huge. And then it shrunk the more I paid attention. Because I guess, I heard everything she said. I get that she got into drugs because they were prescribed to her after a car accident where a semi-truck hit her. And that's kind of similar to the way that Nick got started. And I get it. The pills took away the pain. And then the doctors took away the pills. And I do think she felt ashamed for her behavior with Nick, but she also has this very self-deprecating, sarcastic kind of sense of humor. And so she was playing it off by making jokes. And it was clear that she didn't want to be there. But at the end of the day, she went there. She volunteered to go there. And it also hit me that there was a part of her that wanted to die. That she was saying, don't save me. I just want to go. This is a living hell, and I don't want to be in it anymore. But then she thanked Nick for helping her live, and then she made a cup of coffee, and that's what really turned me around. No two ways about it. Just watching her slowly explain the process for making it taste like coffee while adding very little coffee. That was so compelling to me. That's the kind of slow dialogue, slow moment, just hang with this character a moment that gets me there. Let's just be here with her, making this cup of coffee for a moment. And then I'm in. It turned me right around. She wasn't trying to seduce him. She wasn't trying to be something that she was not. In fact, I really liked the way she spoke to him. It was like, look, I'm grateful to you. I like you, but I don't need you, and I am not trying to impress you. So to me, that just worked. I just felt like the chemistry was there. And that feels very intentional on Y&R's part. Like, almost like I get the impression that they cast her for Nick specifically, because I kind of wonder if Y&R had plans to pair Nick with Sienna and then let Sienna help him out of the drug addiction that her husband had gave him, and then they couldn't work their way toward it. Like, you know, they were kind of stuck with Noah and Sienna, and then they just decided, you know, to cut Noah and Sienna and get to the quick route and bring Marie on. But you know what? She's got a husband too. She mentioned him several times. She's married too. I'm kind of curious to know what your first impressions of Marie are this week. I mean, I know she didn't come on under the best circumstances, but we don't always like characters because they do the right thing. We like them because they're compelling. So why don't we put a poll on that this week at yrchat.com? Your first impressions of Marie. Do you like her as a character? Do you think she's going to add value to the show? Or were you just like straight up not feeling it? I feel like it paid off. I mean, I really feel like taking the time with her, especially in the rehab scenes, really paid off. I am in officially. I vote yes for my first impression of, thumbs up for my first impression of Marie. I think we just need to give her some better clothes, a better haircut, and a slow burn, and I'm in. With Nick in rehab, Christian is staying with Aunt Victoria. I bet that's real fun. I bet staying at Victoria's house is a real riot. But more importantly, Christian is having some long convos with Uncle Daddy Adam. Uncle Adam, who Christian doesn't know is actually his dad. Oh, Y&R is about to blow this up. All the signs are there. Adam is noting that Christian reminds him of a younger version of himself. And Nikki is on high alert. Nikki's all, oh, I'm so mad at myself for not telling Nicholas the truth that he ruined my honeymoon trip. But then let's not tell Christian the truth about his paternity. Okay. Truth is where she decides it is valuable. And Victoria has promised to let Nikki know if she catches any whiff of Adam's paternal instincts kicking in. Oh, it's on. We have been waiting for this for so long, and it is finally gonna happen. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna happen tomorrow, but I bet you by Christmas we will have a teenage Christian on screen. Probably a Connor too. And they will be polar opposites. They will learn that they are brothers. They will go to school at Neil Winters University, and they will fight over the same girl. Victoria and Kyle almost kissed this week. They were this close. And then Jack walked in. Way to go, Jack. Way to ruin the moment. It was an odd moment for a kiss, though, anyway, because Victoria was worried about Nick. She was worried about her brother. I mean, he almost died of an overdose a month ago. And now he had left rehab, went on a bender, and was found in a skeevy motel room. I mean, that would not make me feel very smoochy. But there was bonding there. There was bonding there. There was empathy there. It was funny that Jack thought it was all very impressive that Kyle could be so kind to Victoria, despite the, you know, everything that's gone down between the families. But Jack has no idea that just on the other side of that empathy is lust. Pure soap opera lust. I wonder if Kyle is going to tell Victoria about Billy's discovery. Because I can't shake the memory that at the Shadow Room opening, Victoria had a moment with Lily where it kind of looked like those two were going to be going head to head, fighting over Chancellor Industries. Victoria kept saying that she wanted to get her hands on Chancellor Industries for Nikki. And now it actually seems like Kyle believes that Billy could be onto something. Billy was so rude to Kyle, so dismissive toward Kyle, and yet Kyle seemed more on board with it than Jack. So I kind of wonder if Kyle and Victoria will end up teaming up somehow. I mean, outside of the bedroom too. Why are you so obsessed with me? I thought that was a nice line and a nice moment. I wonder if you guys were cued into it. That's our Who Said It quote for the week. Why are you so obsessed with me? If you think you know, you should go to yrchat.com and find out who said it. We have 3 birthdays this week, you guys. August is like birthday month. Wow. Well, let's start out with Dolores, whose birthday is today. Dolores, happy birthday. Where are you? Where did you go? I feel like you were here just a couple weeks ago, but I haven't heard from you in a couple weeks. Come say hi this week. Get your birthday lovin's. I gotta know if you're okay. I'm sure you are. You're out there partying your way through your birthday. And I know Russell will be around tomorrow to accept his birthday wishes. Happy birthday, Russell. Wow. August 17th. I love your daily recaps. Like, I totally look forward to them, Russell. You are the best, and I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Also, Ron, so that's August 18th, so that'd be Tuesday, I think, if my numbers are correct. Ron's birthday's on Tuesday. Ron kind of stops by intermittently, but I would love to hear from you this week, especially, Ron. Tell us what your birthday celebration was. I wish big cakes for all 3 of you. Maybe even a meal on the house at Society from Abby. I hear that the empanadas are out of this world. I wish birthday empanadas for you 3. Oh, wow. Speaking of Kyle and Victoria, T. Nicole says, I am all in for Victoria and Kyle. I am loving this slow burn attraction and hopefully seeing them trying to deny it and give in. The buildup of the first kiss and the time they sleep together is half the fun. And once they do it, the fun will be keeping it a secret. I also wonder if the actor who plays Kyle more recently had the gray in his hair covered up to seem more younger paired with Kyle, and if it was a decision to let it show, as they knew that the storyline with Victoria was coming up, and to physically make him look more mature and a match for Victoria. Since Kyle's past love interests have been around his age, such as Lola, Audra, Claire, and Summer, but either way, Michael Mealor, gray or not, looks good. Yes, he does. You know, there's something about that outdoor set, too, the Chancellor Park Cafe, that really makes the gray sparkle. So if you've got gray in your hair and you go to the Chancellor Park Cafe, you're going to sparkle. Like, that gray is going to jump out. If you're looking to cover the gray, though, stay away from the cafe. But yeah, I think you're right about the slow burn of it all. I don't want this to blow up too quickly. If Kyle and Victoria are indeed headed for a romance, I need to see it trickle. We cannot just burn this out in a couple of weeks. You cannot have an Abbott and a Newman who have not slept together and then just blow it up real quick like. This deserves the slow burn. That's going to be what helps it pay off, because as it is right now, even though I think Kyle and Victoria have hotness potential, I'm not sure if they have long-term potential. I have no doubt it's going to happen, but could they actually make a long-term relationship work? That is going to remain to be seen. And I think the longer Y&R takes to really build this, show them as friends, show them as connecting, show them fighting it, and then don't just like blow up the kiss and the sex all at once. Let it build. If that's the case, then I will be more likely to think that they could actually make it for a longer haul. Gary says, for Nicholas Newman, it's not a wonderful life. Nick's druggy tour de force followed the familiar formula of someone, Matt Clark, taking our star of the hour on a journey, showing originality only at the end, where there was less of a happy ending than most of the others. Through friends and family, Nick was shown a picture of all the harm he had done, giving them a predictable new resolution for the future, but then the devil came knocking on the door. I see this new woman as Y&R's latest long-term redemption project, giving them lots to play as the months and years to come. Everything old is new again. You know, I hadn't thought of it, Gary, but you're right that Nick's, you know, what is kind of a formula that we see a lot on these one-off episodes. Somebody takes the character off on this journey of their alternate timeline. Usually it ends happy. And with Nick, it didn't. With Nick, it did not end very happy. Well, I mean, I guess when he got back to rehab, it was a little less bleak. But it was a little bit of a difference from the usual formula. And maybe that made it unique or helped add to it. Connie also says, that powerful car ride window movie gave me childhood nostalgia vibes of the drive-in movie theaters I frequented as a kid. We watched outdoors or through the front window, but watching this episode through the side window and in fast motion was very cool and a unique special effect. Excellent production. Yes, Connie. That was for sure the best part of the episode for me. I mean, hands down, I loved everything that was Nick's journey, but there, like, I was absolutely transfixed with the car window. Not only did they make great selections that we haven't seen in quite a while for the actual flashbacks, but the manner that it was delivered was just so beautiful, so cinematic. Yeah, the production value on that was superb. Victoria says, this slip of Nick is so gritty. From the rundown motel to Marie's attitude that her life isn't worth living with drugs, even the drug-fueled sex was gritty. Sex was just another escape, a way to grasp at normalcy and connection. Kudos to set design. I could feel the threadbare cover and rough-stained sheets. Also, I imagined the floor was sticky and the smell of the room moldy with a hint of rose scent from an air freshener. Nick has fallen far, but has he hit rock bottom? I hope that this is the bottom. I'm glad you mentioned the set though, because that backboard of the bed heading with that, what is it, like wicker, that wicker inlay that was on everything in like the 70s and 80s. Ugh, I mean, it's awful. Just like, it's like everything was wood, and then there's like that wicker overlay in the headboard. Blah. I mean, it's so drab, everything. And well, I love these, but you know, the hanging plant braids, I have one. I love those. I think they're fabulous. It is very 60s, 70s, but it had one. It's like, why put a plant in a dingy hotel room like that? I mean, did you see the outside area too? It had trash. It's hard to believe she could hear him screaming from the motel, the Park Motel next door. It was so gross on the outside. And then also, you know, speaking of great cinematic moments, I liked when Nick was watching the ambulance take her away, and we could just see the flashing red and blue lights on his devastated face. I mean, it was, you know, you're right, Victoria. The subject matter was so gritty, and yet it was so beautifully done at the same time. That's a really good, a good feather in Y&R's cap for pulling it off. Robin says, I find it really hard to watch Nick suffering like this. His acting is fantastic, and even his appearance has transformed, since real fentanyl users rarely just get back to normal and are living in a living hell. I guess it would be negligent to have Nick recover without showing what it's really like. It's hard to watch though, and makes me sad. If Josh Morrow gets an Emmy, I will be less sad. Yeah, and Russell says, did you notice during Nick's share session that his leg started jumping and he steadied it with his hand? Those little details are part of what makes Josh Morrow's performance so good. Yes, I totally noticed the steadying of the leg. I bet a lot of people did. Like, that was really genius. That was really self-aware. I mean, that is such a tiny little micro moment that makes me appreciate Josh Morrow. Also, just if I can be indulgent for a moment, I really liked the zipped up hoodie with no shirt underneath look. I mean, it was just hoodie zipped up and chest, like bare chest. He is really, you know, he's a hunk. He's a soap hunk. He's always been a soap hunk. But I feel like moments like that with him steadying his leg really tell me, like, whoa, this guy has grown to become a phenomenal actor. Ugh. I wonder if he was coached to do that. I mean, you know, do you have to like do you meet with maybe an acting coach who can help you understand, or maybe he just did research on the role? Like, how do you even come up with that idea? But he did. I mean, you're right, Robin. There's an Emmy here. He's winning an Emmy for this. They were like, it's time for, has he won one before? Surely. If not, they were like, it's time. We're getting an Emmy for Josh. Let's hope. Oh, this is interesting from Steven, who says, men and women together, alone, in a treatment center, especially two who literally used literally used and ahem together in a motel room less than 24 hours ago? Not best practices from any program I've ever heard of, even if they don't know each other's names. You know, I hadn't thought of that, but you're probably right that, I mean, maybe, are rehabs co-ed? Because it does, like, I bet that's like a whole part of recovery process, because I bet people who use drugs, it can very easily just transfer those addictive feelings into other things. Maybe it's eating, maybe it's sex, maybe it's working out. I mean, maybe they're positive things, maybe they're negative things, but it would be very easy, you know, especially I think it was Victoria who mentioned, you know, there was the feelings of needing, like wanting to be seen, wanting to be with somebody, and escape. Sex is an escape, a way to grasp at normalcy and connection. So it would be really, it would make sense, that sex would be part of that, or that, they would be really easy to want to just sort of displace those feelings into something else sexual. And I think that is what happened in the hotel room. The question is, will it happen again in rehab? Oh, here's another good question from Victoria. Could a new Newman heir be in Nick's future? Well, that is the question, isn't it? Could there be another Newman heir? I mean, like I said, that was not protected sex. I'm sure they didn't take a moment, to to make sure everything was on the up and up, which could have, there could be diseases, there could be a child, we don't know. Connie says, okay, Y&R, it's time to fish or cut bait. For heaven's sake, cast Christian and bring back Connor, or stop referring to them in these off-screen family moments that we are disappointed to miss, and certainly stop teasing us with potential custody battle over a kid we haven't seen in years. Yeah, it was a lot of Connor and Christian talk, and we've seen Connor, we know he exists, but Christian, he was a toddler probably the last time we saw him. The interesting thing though now is that since Christian is being dubbed as a teenager, I don't think it wouldn't really be a custody battle per se, not in the way that Adam tried to pursue years and years ago. It really is just more a matter of telling Christian the truth and letting him work his way through it. Eventually, wouldn't you want to tell him the truth? Wouldn't you want to? Wouldn't you want him to know that eventually? It's almost like it hasn't been planned for. No one ever said, well, we're going to tell him someday. A lot of children who are adopted, maybe the parents don't mention it when the kids are young, but there's a point where they sit down and say, we want you to know this. And it doesn't seem that that's the case for Christian. But I absolutely think that all of this talk about Connor and Christian, and also the fact that we're getting a college, is foreshadowing what is to come. In fact, I think, who was it? Was it Victoria that mentioned last week that the new writers had said they want to put the young back in The Young and the Restless? So in some ways, that is another little piece of evidence that maybe we are on the cusp of getting the next generation. Connie says, chatter gossip, Devon is still being mentioned on Beyond the Gates. He's doing a music project with Anita, and his photo was flashed on her phone to let us know they're currently working on a tribute album for her former singing partner. Also, John Oliver had his guest appearance on Days of Our Lives this week. Needless to say, the storyline is over-the-top crazy, and I love it. I hope Y&R can give him a funny bit or guest appearance to join the comedian bandwagon of silly soap opera fun. Ooh, okay, couple things. That's wonderful that Devon is still having a presence on Beyond the Gates. Is there any chance that they're kind of like maybe going to transition him over there? I just think it's weird that they have pulled him officially out of the Winters family business. It makes me concerned. I wonder if there's any chance he's going to go over to Beyond the Gates for a while. But John Oliver, yeah, I saw little bits from his General Hospital appearance a couple weeks ago, and now he was on Days. Okay, I've got to look that up. Why would Y&R not jump on this bandwagon? That's good publicity for soaps. He's doing soaps a favor by appearing. He's raising awareness of soaps, and even if they're just silly clips, it's getting more eyeballs on the show. So I really hope that Y&R does take this cue and follows suit. I don't know John Oliver, but I saw a couple of the clips that he's done on his show that are related to soaps. So, no matter what, I think it sounds like it's kind of a fun, campy little excuse to bring new eyeballs onto the show for at least a few minutes. Okay, last week's poll, I asked you guys, do you think Billy and Sally will actually get married? The majority of people say no. 59%. And I think you're right. I really do. I think especially now that we're seeing Audra and Billy's got this new obsession that Sally is not going to be down with. I don't think the wedding is going to happen. Steven says not a chance. That relationship is dead in the water. The issue isn't just Billy's addiction to corporate gambling. Ooh, that's a good way of putting it. And one-upsmanship. It's that he shows zero respect for Sally as his partner. You can't build a marriage with someone who treats you like an afterthought to his latest obsession. Dang, Steven, you nailed that. That is some truth right there. I mean, he didn't share this news with Sally right away. I mean, of course, she's out of town. But she's going to be the last to know, and she's not going to like it. Marianne V, though, says, yes, I think Sally and Billy will get married, but may not last long. Probably will last at least until Sally has the baby, and then we'll see. I can't believe she's pregnant. Is she going to even have this baby? I mean, I hope so. I don't want to see her go through another miscarriage. I mean, they may very well just have a child together, but not end up getting married. Well, hey, let's end on some fun fashion notes from Diana, who says, I want to talk fashion this week. I really liked Claire's outfit. I thought it was cute and sexy at the same time, as well as unique and classy looking. I loved the skirt, her shoes, and the tie. It was all put together very nicely. I also liked Victoria's green dress. She has the figure for that outfit, and she is very slim. I loved the color, and the green brought out the green in her eyes. It made them stand out. Nikki's dress was stunning looking, so sparkly and shimmery when she entered the ranch. I'm not sure it was right for the occasion. Why Nikki felt the need to be so dressy to wear this flashy dress just to fly home on a private jet, I'm not sure. But she looked great in it. I really liked Lily's outfit she was wearing at Society when she was dining with Kane. I loved the sleek tan suit jacket and the blouse she was wearing with it. The blouse was very different looking. It had a floral print on the neck. I thought it was sophisticated looking and elegant. Beautiful fashion this week. Yes, I love fashion notes. Please always feel free to leave fashion notes. I thought Lily looked beautiful. I mean, she always does. She looked absolutely stunning on Friday. But let's talk about Nikki's dress. It looked so gorgeous under the lights. I mean, she was just sparkling. I couldn't believe it. You're right that it was absolutely ridiculous that she was wearing it on the private plane. But when you are Nikki Newman, that is how you roll. But I mean, of course, the skirt, what was really outstanding about it, because it was like strips. It was like diamondy strips. It was a skirt up into a point, and then it turned into a car wash. Okay, everybody. That's a Y&R chat proper. You know that rattle I've been dealing with? I don't know if you guys could hear it on the video, but I was dealing with this rattling that was happening. I hope I have solved the issue. I think that I have, and you're never going to believe what I think it was. I believe that the force of my voice was rattling the camera itself. And the weird thing was, it happened more often in the retro recaps and as Y&R Chat went on. And I started just doing tests on it and trying to just figure out what is causing this. And finally, I moved the camera back, and right now I'm just using it to, zoom to get the framing. And so the camera's farther away from me, farther away from the force of my voice. But the weird thing is, I think the pure passion of me talking about these retro stories. And as Y&R Chat goes on, I get more warmed up and more into it, and everything becomes more animated. It was rocking the camera itself. The pure drama of Y&R then and now was rippling through the airwaves and causing a space-time continuum rattle. And if you have heard no rattle this week on the video, then that means I'm right. What can I say? The passion is there. Oh, but it is winding down. I think I've got maybe 5 more. Yes, 5 more Y&R retro recaps that I plan to release. And then I'm just going to take a little breaky break. But you know me, I'll get to the end and then I'll be like, oh no, I got to do that one. But I need a break. It's so much extra research and production and all that. But I think there's 5 more left. I'm officially done with deaths. That's a nice change because I've done 3 deaths in a row. It was Catherine's, then Cassie's, now Neil's. So the last 3 weeks have been death weeks, but they just kept coming up. It was the right time to talk about Catherine. It was the right time to talk about Cassie. It was the right time to talk about Neil. But like I said, I've been dreading them. Those take a lot of emotional energy. But what I have left are rivalries and romances. I have got 2 rivalries and 3 romances. And then I will feel like my Y&R retro recap journey is a really good, complete representative of modern Y&R. 5 more to go. Do you want to guess them? If you've been watching my Y&R retro recap series, what 2 rivalries and 3 romances have not yet been addressed that are big and essential to the show? If you want to leave me a comment this week and guess, I would love to see someone get all 5. It's been quite a journey. And of course, I am still on my Fauna and the Flora journey, recording the audiobook 2, which is just so wonderful. It's such another world. It is like inspired by Y&R, but it is not Y&R. It is its whole own world. And now is the perfect time of year for it too. It's like being in a fantasy forest with all of the soap opera drama that you know you love. Book 2 is probably going to be coming out either at the end of the year or the beginning of next year. So if you haven't read the first one yet, if you have not experienced the Fauna and the Flora, now's a good time. You can get the paperback or ebook on Amazon. The audiobook is a beautiful transported experience that you can get on Audible. Or actually, I think you can get it on Apple too, if you're an iTunes person or an Apple person. It's quite a few places. I think you can get it from Barnes and Noble. There's a lot of the audiobook though, I think is limited. I think it's only on Audible and Apple and maybe one other place, maybe Amazon Music, or I'm not sure exactly. But you can go to restlessforest.com if you want to look it up, see the goodies. The world is continuing to be developed. I'm having just an absolute good time with it, and I'm just so excited to be able to continue these projects and to continue to talk about Y&R. I'm like living my dream. Week in and week out. This is a good period for being me. And I hope that you're able to experience it and enjoy it. I hope that you love Y&R Chat and look forward to it and come back next week because I'll be here. Will you? I love you guys. I hope you have a really good week and I will see you next Sunday. Bye.